Triple H has. I think Triple H is an incredible gentleman. That's what I think about the game. Triple H. That was fucking awesome. That was fucking awesome. And I gotta tell you something. Do I have time to go into this? Yeah, we have a little bit before Monday night start. So I'm gonna tell you something. The way that they set up this press conference, first of all, it was like an honor to even be allowed to be included in that. Thank you to Lucha Libre Online for allowing me to cover Survivor, series for them and to be a part of like the press, the media, and to be part of the presser is always like something that nobody should take for granted. But so the way that they set it up is like you can email questions. You guys saw Byron Saxton was reading questions that were emailed, and you also get to raise your hand, and they pick whoever they want. You don't know who you're getting, so obviously you have to think very off the top of your head. You got to think fast. What question am I going to ask? I have questions for everyone that came through the press conference. We got Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman. I didn't get selected to talk to them. Bianca and Becky, I didn't get selected to talk to them. However, my girls from those wrestling girls got to ask Bianca a question, and that made me really happy because it was one of the very few times that there's more than one female in the room. Now, it was not Byron Saxton's fault, and I want to make sure everybody knows that because everybody's like, Byron, it's not Byron Saxton's fault. So if you got like as somebody asked the questions, the WWE PR and team find somebody else and they hand that person the mic. So when the camera goes back to Byron Saxton, he already sees who has the mic. So he calls that person out. So while Triple H said, "Hey Byron, she had her hand up the entire time and you guys skipped her," it wasn't Byron the person that was selecting who was asking the question. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that because this is Alfred's father. And, I want to make sure that my good friend Alfred's dad doesn't get a bunch of, because I saw some people tagging him on my tweet. And I was like, ultimately it wasn't Byron Saxton's fault, but people don't get to see the behind the scenes and how, the people are selected to ask these questions. But I'm going to tell you something. If you guys want the real story, I always keep it real with you guys here. I raised my arm for the last question, and Byron Saxton pointed at the guy that had the microphone, and he said, "Okay, this is the last question." So at this point, in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, it's over. I didn't get to ask any questions, but I was here, and that's really fucking cool. Oh, Dylan, I get to your super chat in 1 second. So of course you already you're not nervous, you let your guard down because you're thinking, okay, I don't have to get up, stand up and talk in this live stream that thousands of people are watching. Like, you mentally prepare yourself. So once they said no more questions, I'm like, oh, there goes that idea. And then Triple H does that shit, and I don't even know how I was able to even put a sentence together. I had that question constructed in my head since he walked in, a lot more probably smart sounding, because I was just vomiting words because I was so nervous. And it was like, you guys put yourself in my situation. It's like, that you will be like, oh, holy shit, and I'm in front row. Triple H he's making eye contacts with all of us. I know he acknowledges me, I know he sees me, and and just hand up, hand up, hand up. But it was such a gentleman gesture of him. But if you guys go back and watch it, I forgot to mention my fucking name. Like, that's how nervous I was because he put everybody on the spot for me. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was like an outer body experience. Like, did this really just fucking happen to me? And just like, Triple H is a father of 3 daughters. It just showed. It was a very gentleman thing to do. And I was able to ask the question. And I had gotten so much feedback on kind of like bringing up, just bringing more PLEs to international locations. Yes, yeah, Nicole is like, oh, holy shit, Triple H. And he just like, he called an audible and continued this press conference to take my question. And I'm supposed to stand up and talk normal, and I'm not one to lack words. I talk for a living, Christ's sake. But it was a moment. And him doing that meant a lot to me. But I'm a very big person in treating wrestling media equal. So I don't want to be acknowledged as, a girl. So I wanted to just get a chance to ask my question because I know I don't come from the mainstream platforms, right? So regardless, I got to do that. But my favorite part was that I talked about him bringing an event to Latin America. He gave me that tease about Puerto Rico, and I wanted to cry. When Triple H said, "Stay tuned for Puerto Rico," and winked at me, I wanted to cry. But if you guys missed it, he talked about he wants to go to Japan, he wants to go to Mexico, he wants to go to Australia with premium live events. It was awesome. It was awesome. So I'm very proud of the questions that I got to ask because, in my opinion, we are seeing a lot of international pay-per-views from WWE. What other locations can they go to? They're a global company. Dylan Matthews with the Australian 299 Super Chat. He says Byron's gonna hit up Alfred for some dirt. Oh my god, I hope not.